Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we are going over my series I want to start in 2026, which, yes, we are indeed like a third of the way through 2026. Yes, I'm aware. I'm a little bit late. However, I still wanted to go over this just to remind myself as well. It's a good reminder to keep it kicking, keep going, you know what I mean? Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. The first category is romance. And firstly, for this category, I have the Magnolia Parks universe. I would like to start and ideally finish that series. However, she is a chunky book. She's a chunky book, a chunky series, and the series is not even done yet. It's still going. So unfortunately, do I see me finishing the series? No. But I can start it. But that just means I'm adding more series to my incompleted series list, which isn't ideal. However, you know, sometimes you gotta add some series to take away some series. So at some point you just gotta roll with it. I mean, at this point, what can I really do? The next series is the Vancouver Storm series. Now this has the fake out, behind the net, and then I think there's another one, but I think that there's a new release this year. Or is it The Right Move? It could be The Right Move, because I was thinking wait, Mile High, the Vancouver Storm, you know. But anyway, yes, I do want to start that series. I've heard many amazing things about it, especially from other booktubers that I enjoy watching their content. And I believe it's all hockey. I think it's all hockey because Vancouver Storm is the name of the team. Is that wrong? I could be totally lying. I could be spreading false information. I don't exactly remember, to be fair. But if it's all hockey, then I'm immediately storming through the series. Yeah, it's going to happen, hopefully. I don't even have a physical book, and usually I like collecting books. Can you tell? Can you tell I like collecting books? The next series is actually a series that I am up to date in, ironically. This is the Villains series by Rena Kend. This includes Kiss the Villain, Hunt the Villain, soon to be Crave the Villain. Soon to be is kind of crazy to say because the next book comes out next year, mid next year. So I'm completely off with that. But still, it's a series. I'm up to date with it. And I mean, I count that as a super win because not only did I start it, I'm up to date. So, you know. Okay, so the next book is In Her Own League by Liz Tomforty. Now, I have Mile High, the Windy City series by her, and I've only read literally one book, Mile High, the first book in the series. So I really enjoyed that book, really enjoyed that book, even though everyone says that that's their least favorite. So now I'm did I just jinx myself? Or I couldn't tell you. But this book, In Her Own League, follows a newly appointed, I think, owner of this baseball team, and it's kind of connected with the Windy City series. That's why I mentioned it. It's kind of like a spin-off from that series. It's involving a dad from one of the books. I can't remember which books. The books are over here, by the way. That's why I keep looking over here. Yeah, not sure whose dad we're following. Okay, but I've heard really great things about this book so far, and I've also heard not amazing things, but hey, everyone has their own taste, you know, not everyone can be perfect, okay? There is no name for the series, at least of what I can tell. I know Goodreads is not saying it has a name, so that's very interesting, but I'm sure there's a name somewhere that I could find. I don't know, I'm not really itching to get to this series, so it's there, it's on my radar, but it's not I have to start this series kind of thing. Alright, the next book or the next series is a fun one. I don't know exactly what comes of the series, but it's the Hollow Boys by Runix, I believe. It's the Hollow Boys by Monte J. Yeah, heard fantastic things about the series and I can't wait to start it. I actually have it on my TBR, like my priority TBR, so we'll see if I get to it. It's been on there for quite a while, but hopefully I'll get to it soon. That's the goal, that's the aim of the game. And I know almost nothing. I believe this is set, there's like a side plot of like murder mystery, I believe, and that's in the back of the book. So think there's like a dark romance and also like a murder mystery side plot, or like they're combined. Either way, I'm sad. And I think what I've also heard is that as you go along in the series, it gets just like better and better. So my cup of tea. So me and dark romances, I love a good dark romance. Just, you know what I find interesting? You can't see it. It's on my other bookshelf. There are different levels to dark romance. Like what I call a dim romance is like Anna Huang, her Twisted series, with like Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, Twisted Lies. I haven't read Twisted Lies, but I really want to. I've heard amazing things about that too. And I think that was in my series I want to continue. So by the way, if you haven't seen that, go on over. I think it should be up here. Here's a card. Click that. Watch it if you want. No pressure, obviously. Where was I going with that? What I call a dim series is like, it's not dark, but it's not like a fluffy romance. Like you're not gonna get like butterflies. I mean, you may, but like it's not gonna be like, oh, I like you, oh, I like you too. No, that's not what happens, bestie. So that's like a dim series to me. A dark romance series to me is like the Legacy of God series. Okay, like especially the first book. The first book, you were like, wow, what have I gotten myself into? However, I will say that book, I loved it so much. Actually, I love almost every book I've read with that series and connecting to that series so far. So I will say Rina Ken is like, love a Rina Ken book. But anyway, I feel like I'm yapping so much and we have so much to get through. So let me continue on. The Hollow Boys heard amazing things and I will be getting to it. And if I don't, please yell at me. If you find this video at the end of December, please refer back to this video and be like, ma'am, you promised a lot here and you're talking for no reason because you promised, you did not deliver. Moving on to the next series. The next series is The Ice Hawks by Matt Rafferty. This, I've heard amazing things about Breaking Point, the first book in this series, and I believe the second book is going to be out soon. March 31st. It literally released. I really need to read the series because I've heard amazing things about the first book. I haven't watched anyone who's read it yet, so except for one person and they loved it. I can't wait. And I think it deals with like sensitive topics, which I love me a book who dives deep into sensitive topics. Like, yes, I want to learn why this character is this way. And if the character has reasons for being this way, or if it's just them, which, you know, love a good backstory, you know? So, Breaking Point, absolutely remind myself, okay, the next one, I even hate myself for not reading this yet, but Taurus Season by Bryn Reaver. This series is a spin-off from Butcher and Blackbird. No, that has a name. From the Ruinous Love series, and I absolutely adored the Ruinous Love trilogy. Divine. If you haven't read it, please go and read it. And if you don't want to read it, audiobook it. Literally you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. It's a dark rom-com. So good. I can't remember what the series is called. The Seasons of Carnage trilogy. Oh, perfect. The Seasons of Carnage trilogy. Yes. Is that a mouthful? Yes. Can I barely say it with my lisp? Yes. Also yes. Really have to get to this series, especially because I was actually hoping that the main female character of this series, or I guess not because they're all like interconnected standalones, but the first book, the main character, she was in Butcher and Blackbird, and I was hoping she would get her own book with her own story because she was very, very interesting and entertaining. Like, she was a whole character, let me tell you. So I'm glad she's getting her own series. Like, hallelujah, you know? Oh, Okay, so the next series I've had for 3 years now. Still haven't read it. You want to know what this series is? I think you do. Right. Right. Haunting Adeline. Yep. Cat and Mouse to What? Yeah, that's the one. I've had this series on my TBR since December of 2023. So do you want to tell me why I haven't read this, or don't know why I haven't read this? I don't know. I could not tell you. It's not plausible. This edition, by the way, gorgeous. It's the edition before it got new covers or traditionally published. Like, I'm confused. Yeah, so if you could let me know, that would be great. It's only 2 books, but I think the only thing that is holding me back is because I know that this book is dark, but I know that Hunting Adeline is darker. So now I'm a little wary because a girl can only take so much. Like, I love me. Like, I know I'm gonna love Zayden, but Zayden Meadows, correct? I think so. Is there dual POV? No? What? Zayden Meadows, not Zayden. Basically, I'm too scared. I think that's the answer to my questions. All of our questions is I'm too scared. Yeah. Yep. All right. The next series is, I believe it's called the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. This series has been recommended to me for probably 3 years. Like, I couldn't tell you how long, because I think I was a dark romance girly before I became a contemporary romance girly. Make it make sense, but yeah, I couldn't tell you why. Couldn't tell you. But this series is like, I can't remember if it's a step down or a step up from Haunting Adeline. It may be a step below, now that I think about it, because I haven't heard as much like oh my gosh kind of things, but I have heard oh my gosh, you know. Does this make any sense? I've heard great things, obviously. Any book Penelope Douglas writes, I've heard really great things about, so I may just have to get into their backlist and go. Let me know if you guys recommend anything also, because I love a good recommendation. I will say I love a good recommendation. All of the books I have currently, yeah, all of the, I think 200-ish books I have come based off of a recommendation. So let me know. But the one, obviously, in the Devil's Night series I'm going to start with is Corrupt. I think that's the first book, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I know nothing really. I think it's an academy setting. Let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, next, is anyone going to be surprised when I say the North Shore series by Lola King? I know that Lola King has been a very talked about author with dark romance, and all of their books have been like picked up. People are like, oh my god, this is so good. Especially with like Loving the Liar, Loving the Reaper, all of those books as well. The North Shore and Loving the Liar. Those are the 2 most popular ones, and I think those are the only ones, actually. I've heard amazing things, and I've heard the North Shore series is very dark. It will depend on my mood. Keep track of how many times I say amazing things, and I can't wait to get to this book. Take a shot, because you would be flabbergasted by the end of this video. Guaranteed. But anywho, yeah, North Shore. Definitely want to read this series. And also, Loving the Liar. I don't know that series. Silver Falls University. Just looked it up. That is the Loving the Reaper, Loving the Liar, like, so those 2 series I really want to read. I've heard nothing but amazing things. Yep. Okay. Okay, I think it's time to move on. Ooh. Right. So next up is, I think, an even darker series than most of them that I've said so far. And that is going to be Insatiable, which is a part of the Edge of Darkness trilogy, or the Edge of Darkness series, I think, because there's like interconnected ones. So this series, I've heard phenomenal things, you know? Basically, I'm like one step away from just purchasing the whole series and binging it, because when I see a review of this series or even the first book, the people are like, oh my god, that's amazing book. And I'm like, guys, please stop. You want me to spend the money I don't have to get the whole series, read the whole series, fall in love with it, and then never have another book in the series again? Like, what the heck am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do at that point, you know? At this point, it's like, I don't know. Out of these books or series that I've told so far, this one is like number 1 on my list, because I think I really, really need to read it, like now. Maybe there'll be a book haul in the near future, or a reading vlog with reading the whole series. We shall see. I have like 2 different reading vlogs started at this point, and I've not contributed to them because I'm a mood reader through and through. So like picking up books that like either that get chosen for me basically, or that something helps choose them for me, I'm like not really feeling them anymore. So, you know, love it when that happens. But anyway, back to the point. Yeah, the series, the next series is the Late in You series, which book 1 is Iced Out. I started this series. I read book 1. I enjoyed it. I think the whole series is complete now. I think the final book came out recently, and I've heard mixed reviews, but that could just be because I think something with the last book is different than the ones that are out or have been out for a while. Something's different, but I think I'm gonna end up liking the last book more for some reason. I don't know, it's just the vibes I get, really. But this series, Hockey romance series, great, fantastic, up my alley. Completely up my alley. The first book, I think I gave 4 stars, like on the dot, and that's still like a really good rating, and I would recommend that book through and through. There's just like certain parts that didn't like mesh well with me, but still it's a great book and you should read it. Yeah, I've started the series. I need to go on to the second one. There's just so many books on my TBR. Getting to this series is probably further down on my list, to be fair, so that's where I stand. However, I do think I will enjoy the series in general. That's it, I guess. Alright, the last series on this list, however it's not the last series on my entire TBR, is going to be the Why Not series. And this starts with Cactus Heart. This is a Why Choose book. I don't know if the whole series is like Why Choose couples. Actually, let me find this out. Let me just find this out. Like, it's so easy. Oh, wait, I've heard a lot of books by this author, actually. They have another book, Stolen Chances, that I really want to read as well. Wow, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. That is crazy. Okay, let me see about this series. It does look like they're all Why Choose romances. Okay, the second book is an MFF or an FFM. Not sure which way that goes. Blur coming soon. Okay, so the next book in the series has not released yet, and it's called Thorn Kiss. Cute. Okay, and the characters all look adorable. Actually, every character that they have on the books look pretty adorable. Okay, and then the third book, it looks like 3 men and 1 woman. So I don't know. Oh, there is a blurb for this one. Why not choose gorgeous men? Even if 2 of them are rivals, after 1,000 disastrous first dates, I've given up on love. When my crush's rival swoops in and saves me from another date gone wrong, I have a one-night stand that leaves me breathless and yearning for more. 3 gorgeous men. 3 gorgeous problems. Only one solution. Take a chance. Even all of the men are together. I saw the MMF. Okay, so yes, the series have immediately boosted to my top 5. So yes, absolutely. This is a small town. Why Choose? This book is an MMF romance, and then the second is FFM or MFF. I'm not sure which one. And then the last one is MMMF. Sound gorgeous. And I think these are all like semi-small. There's a picture in the back. Oh, cute. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, let's move on. Alright, and with that, we are done with romances. So, hi guys. As you can probably tell, it is the next day. Yes, it's the next day. Now, I look so red in this light. Oh my goodness. I had to do a quick pause on continuing, but I'm here, I'm back, and we are moving on to the fantasy aspect of this video. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The first book in the fantasy category is going to be Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. This is a fantasy, I don't know if it's fantasy romance or kind of more towards fantasy. However, I know that there are some interesting topics in this actually. It's mostly about like religious trauma and a bunch of other things. Actually, I never like opened the book and read the trigger warnings, and there's some heavy topics in this, not gonna lie. So we'll see if I end up liking this, but I think that the next book is coming out relatively soon-ish, and this is a pretty short book nonetheless, so I should just read it. I really should. Actually, this sounds really good right now. I'm just kind of reading an arc. So maybe I'll read the arc and I'll go straight into this. I don't know. We'll see. But this is book 1. Alright, the next book is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I think the second book comes out relatively soon as well, and I've heard amazing things about this book, and hopefully this series will continue. I think it's a duet. Like, Rachel Gillig also wrote the Shepherd King duology, the One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns, and I read the first book of that and I enjoyed it. I have not read the second book. I think The Night and the Moth is going to be more my speed. It seems more dark and gothic, and there's a funny side character. I think that may be more my type of vibe, but we will see. Obviously, I don't have the physical book with me. That is the only sad part, is I waited too long and then they didn't have the beautiful sprayed edges anymore, so I decided just not to get it yet. We'll see if I could find a copy for a relatively good price on Pango or something like that. We'll see. Alright, and the next series is Kiss of the Basilisk. What kind of series is it though? Can we not have like series labeled on the covers of the books? That would be lovely and help me out significantly. Oh, it's just Split and Swallow. Split and Swallow is the series name. However, there used to be a book called Split and Swallow, which is like the indie version of this book. This is the traditionally published version. I am very interested in this book. The things I've heard, crazy. I haven't like heard like specific details, but all I've heard is that this book is crazy, and that seems like my kind of vibe, and it also seems very spicy, so also my kind of vibe. Hopefully there's like plot at least, and these words are tiny, like tiny. Here, let me go to like a first page kind of thing. It's about 500 pages, and so this is like a fantasy romance, I believe, and there's a second book in this series which is already out. And there's a third coming out as well. I don't know if they are just interconnected or an actual series, so I will have to see about that. We'll see where it takes me. Alright, next is Kingdom of the Wicked. This is a metallic cover, so I'm gonna kind of aim it low. Camera does not like this metallic cover. Yeah, this is a YA fantasy romance, I want to say. I've had this series for the longest time, like 2 years. 2 years. It's kind of ridiculous now. It's time to read this series. Like, this has to be the year, you know? All I really know about this series is that it has death personified, and if I'm not one for a mythic death creature in human form or in physical form, then yes. So with all that considered, I really have to get to the series, and I've heard nothing negative. Like, nothing. You know, like, how's that possible? So I really have to get to it. I really do. I think this is an adventure kind of plot line. Oh, the witches who live secretly amongst humans, avoiding notice and... I completely forgot. That's right. Okay, so this has Wrath, one of the seven sins personified, and they kind of help our main character discover who got rid, if you know what I mean, her twin sister, and then an adventure ensues. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds real good. Okay, this next one, I don't even want to get it out of the cart because it's gonna take so long to get it back in. Oh, okay. Alright, so not only has this book been a veteran on my TBR, it is also one of the longest books on my TBR, and it's been on so many TBRs I couldn't even tell you how many. And that is the one and only Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Warwick. Yeah. Are you familiar with this book? Because I sure am. There's not really much more to say about this book other than it is a thick book. Huge. Let's see how many pages. Almost 650 pages. Does this look like 650 pages? No, it doesn't. So I'm a little concerned. And also, the writing is not too terribly big, but it's not too terribly small either. That makes me a little concerned. The things I've heard about this series is just, it's heartbreaking, heartwarming, comforting, and completely insane. So that's a lot of just antonyms of each other. Yeah, not sure I'm gonna get to this. Probably not, actually. I'll probably have to wait until some other time because this is a chunker. And I really think I should read Lady of Darkness first. I do have that book on my Kindle, and I think I should read that series before I read this one, if I'm not mistaken. However, I do love reading a series in the middle of a universe and then going back to the beginning and then continuing the series, you know? Maybe just me, but that's how I like to do things. I really try to know nothing about most books. I think there's some kind of gods, there's heirs. Is she an assassin? I don't know. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different series. But I'm gonna keep it as I don't know much about the series. All I know is that it's fantasy, there's fae. I think there's some kind of godly being or beings. So wish me luck if I do start this book. Not gonna happen. Alright, the next series is, I don't know the series name, but it's Servant of Earth, this book / series. I've heard phenomenal things about this book, all from YouTube creators. I don't know, I don't really know anything about this book. All I've heard is that it's great and everyone needs to pick it up immediately. So, you know, I'll take that for what it is. I know that it's a fantasy. I think there's a romance in there. I don't know how prominent the romance is though, so I guess we'll find out if I end up reading it. I really want the hardcover, like the mini hardcovers, with a design on the cover and not the dust jacket, so I'm kind of waiting to see if I can find myself one of those because I think they're out of print, so that's very unfortunate, but I will try my best to find one. Alright, the next book is another TBR veteran, The Book of Azrael. Yeah, I'm sorry to say I still haven't gotten to this book, even though I've said it so many times that I will get to it. Still have not gotten to it, and that's on me, and that's truly on me. This, I definitely know, deals with gods. There's battles, there is a spotlight upon a romance, and is there fae? I don't remember. This is such an indie copy. It's like, I can tell by just like the words on the page. That's so funny. Yeah, so this is still on TBR. At this point, like, what am I to do? You know? Besides read it. The next series is The Crowns of Nyaxia by Carissa Broadbent. This series has also been on my TBR, I think longer than the other two books. I really need to itch my eye, but I can't. I really only want to read the first 2.5 books in this series because there's also a novella, because I've really only heard amazing things about the first duet in this universe. That's kind of all I feel like I'm going to care about, unless I really enjoyed the side characters, in this book at least. So I guess we'll find out. And I love. I've opened this book so many times, like you could kind of just like tell. Like when I opened it, I was like, wow, yeah, it's been opened a while. Love the hardcover. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, this I know is about vampires. All I really know is it's about vampires. For humans or vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. Okay, so it's a romantasy for sure. I'm guessing it's an enemies to lovers, vampires, that kind of thing. Because the classic telltale sign. Oh, we are at 50% battery. Love that. I kind of only really want to read the first 2 books, but we'll see if I end up liking the side characters and if I want to continue. Considering the last 3 books, what kind of series do you think is next? Because they all kind of have this, enemies to lovers, dark, fantasy. Yeah. Also, ashamed to say this has been on my TBR for very long. Ashamed to say that this has been on several TBRs and still have not gotten to it. I only have the first book in the series. Okay, had to change the battery. It died. What a surprise. I'm just yapping. So continuing on, I actually don't know where we left off. But yeah, she's a chunky book. Have her on several TBRs. Still haven't gotten to it, and I don't think, I want to say in the near future I could get to it. However, the likelihood of that is very, very low because, I mean, come on now. I'm pretty sure it's almost 700. Oh no, it's past 700 pages actually. So, plus there's 3 other books in this series that are additionally long. So considering all of that, I don't think I'll make it to this series, but I sure as heck can try. So, we'll see. Metal Slinger is next, and Fire and Metal is the series name, and the second book is releasing this year. I don't know when, I don't remember, but it is releasing this year, and I would like to catch up to it, and I think, or this was a duology and now it's not, or it is a duology, something along those lines. But I really have heard amazing things about especially the ending of this book, and I want to be in the loop. And this one is actually doable. This one I can get to. Okay, maybe not, it's 500 pages. But this one I feel like I will love and really like. And that is my hope. I don't know much about this book, actually. Probably an enemies to lovers. It looks like she was exiled out of the kingdom. Okay, that's as much as I'll read. But that is crazy. Should really get to this book. And of course, since we're going off popular series at this point, Diabound is next. Let's see. A Wolves of Ruin novel. Okay, Wolves of Ruin. Love that. The second book, I think, released already. I think it did. And I haven't heard anything yet, but I am expecting amazing things from the second book. And considering everyone's saying literally not one bad thing about the first book, I can't imagine me not liking it. My hope is that I really enjoy this book because obviously shifters, magic, a bond, fated mates. You know what really gets me into a book? Fated mates. Yeah. And I think there's a love triangle-ish, but we'll see. I also really enjoy love triangles, not gonna lie. So, I mean, there's like nothing can go wrong, right? Nothing can go wrong, right? Alright, the next one is Riftborn. I think the series is just called Riftborn, but what I really want to get to is The Ascended, also by this author in the same universe, I believe. Of course, like, The Ascended, actually, I haven't heard one bad thing about. And, like, that's not me just saying that. No, I literally have not heard one bad thing about it. Literally, everyone has given it 5 stars. So, I feel like I'm gonna love it. I believe there's the 3rd book coming out in the Riftborn, the series Riftborn. The 2 books are already out. Riftborn and then Duskbound, I believe, are already out. I feel like I need to read it. I don't know anything about this series. Literally couldn't tell you one thing, but I've heard great things. I feel like I would love it. My friend, she's also really liked Duskbound and Riftborn, so can't really battle that. So, and that's that on that. The next series, A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. And what kind of series? Okay, I can't remember the series. It's not showing me. That series, of course, book creators have been non-stop talking about it, and if that happens, usually I'm like, okay, this series gotta be good, right? So that's my hope. That is my hope and well-being for this series. I've heard great things. I think there's 4 books out, and I think there's only 4 books in this series, so shouldn't be too bad of a read considering. Right, okay. Oh, also, okay, I got like a bunch of things. I'm gonna like arts and crafts these. I'm not gonna bejewel them. Bejewel? I'm not doing that, but I got little like corner covers, and I'm gonna put them on these so I could keep these forever and ever, because I know I tabbed from here down, I believe, or at least from here down, and I think I did this book, but I want to reread the first 3 books and tab them as well. So let me know if you guys want to do like a reading vlog of those, like rereading Throne of Glass, because I would be so down, like literally so down. I love that series. Anyway, literally not what we're talking about. A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. Yes, I've heard great things. And I really want to know what happens in this book, because of course I do. I really must read it. Really, I know nothing. Literally couldn't tell you one thing. And I think I really do love going into books not knowing. So, the next series is... Oh, actually I don't know the series. What is the series called? The next series is the Moonfall series. Yes, When the Moon Hatched is the first book, and considering, like, in hardcover it doesn't look too bad, but this book is heavy. So the pages must be thick. Oh, I love the smell. I'm thinking, because I don't really love this cover. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm pretty sure it will make sense when I read the book. But I found a beautiful cover on Etsy, and I think I'm gonna go for that. And I'm justifying it by someone is literally handcrafting this art, so I'm supporting a small business. That's what I'm telling myself, at least, because I really want this new cover. But anyway, I've heard phenomenal things about this book, and I've also heard I've heard mixed things about this book. I want to formulate my own opinion, because I mean, some people out here be saying crazy things about certain books, like no, didn't happen, never will happen, you know what I mean? So I want to formulate my own opinion, and that's that. I did hear that there is a 10-page glossary. Okay, 9-page glossary, but there's also characters. 3 pages of characters and a pronunciation guide. 2 pages of that. So there's a lot of world building and lore you need to know before going into this. Or I guess you'll find out on your own, but I'm for sure going to like study this before I go into it. So that requires a lot of thinking and mental capacity that I don't have at the moment. Okay, I'm putting this down now because it hurts my wrist. Alright, the next book is this gorgeous book next to me, Quicksilver. I haven't read it yet, no. I have not read it yet. I've heard it, like, the bestest of things from the series. Brimstone, which is right next to it, haven't heard the best things about, but Quicksilver, I've heard that Kingfisher is like, yeah. You know, and when someone says that, I'm like, okay. So I have to read that book. In December of last year, obviously, I was this close to picking up this book, but then the whole heated rivalry thing happened, and I was like, oh, let me read that before that. And then I got caught up in the whirlwind. So really need to read Quicksilver, and I'm really hopeful that I will love that book, and hopefully I will enjoy Brimstone. And the side characters, I think I may love. So we will see. We will see if I get lucky. So yeah. And of course, since we're on the topic of popular fantasy series, Heavenly Bodies. Yes. This is a gorgeous cover. This is actually like the cover of the book, which you're joking. Oh my goodness. I'm really hopeful that they come out with Fallen Stars, I think is the second book. I think they should come out with this kind of hardback for Fallen Stars, because you know I would purchase that immediately. I was waiting for them to come out with something like this. I didn't want a paperback. I usually don't like, as you can probably tell, I don't like paperbacks for my fantasy series because they just get like ruined easier. easier. Took me a minute. Easier because they're so heavy usually. So that's why I got the corner borders for Throne of Glass, because I want to make sure that is preserved. Yes, I do. So anyway, Heavenly Bodies. I know that this deals with some kind of astronomy, and girl, if you know me, I love astronomy. Can you tell? Can you see it? Can you see it? I really enjoy like astrology, tarot card kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna really enjoy this book, and I just have to get to it. Like, that's the problem with just these books. Oh my god, this character art. Wow. Wait, this is gorgeous. Tarot cards? Okay, this got me more interested. So maybe I'll pick this one up before or after Tarot at the Gates. I don't know. But like, this is what I mean. Like, going over books again, especially for these videos, just make me like really giddy to get into them again. So, Heavenly Bodies, I really think I'm going to enjoy this book. So hopefully I get to it. I know absolutely nothing about this book. On par for me, clearly. Okay, we got Fate, Prophecies, Stars. Yeah, Kingdoms. It looks like kind of like gods-ish. Princes. Wow, this one's got everything. Alright, cool. And then an Enemies to Lovers, of course. Hopefully I get to it soon. Okay, next we have Fear of the Flames. I've heard phenomenal things about this book, and I've heard even better things since it's been traditionally published and the second book has came out. So considering all that hype, I need to get to it. Although I really wish I had the not traditionally published version, because I wanted to compare them, but girl, I don't got the money for that, you know? So yeah, of course I want to read it. This has dragons. This has dragons in it. I love a good dragon book. I really do. I really do. Me and dragons. Yep. And that's all I really needed to really start this series. So that's all I read up to, is that those dragons. And I think there's some kind of like war with the dragons, or someone stole the dragon. I don't know. I heard dragon and I said yes. Okay, technically the second to last book I had, or book series, was Lady of Darkness, but we kind of already discussed that series. But it's the first series in the universe of Lady of Darkness and in the Legacy series. And I think there's one more series. Lady of Darkness is kind of like the starting series of the Legacy series and TBD universe kind of thing. So, I don't know. As I said, I think I should start with this series, but I'm not too certain. So, we will see if, like, I have both Lady of Darkness and Reign of Shadows and Endings on Kindle. So, I could literally just like boop and then I'm reading it, you know? We'll see. It's really the luck of the draw. Like eeny, meeny, miny, mo kind of thing. We'll see. Let me know if you have a preference down below. Let me know. The last book series is the Legends of Thesmar series. The first book is Blood and Steel. Now this book, I can't remember if I read page 1 and I was like, maybe I should go back to this a different time. But I remember seeing this book and I can't remember if I was like, okay, I just need to like let this book go, because I had it on my Kindle for like a year and I still haven't read it. So I may have let this book go to the regions of the Kindle universe. But we'll see if I actually pick up the physical version or audiobook or something like that, because I really do want to read this entire universe too. Helen Scher, I know, has a ton of series in this one universe, so you know I gotta read it. You really do know I gotta read it. Again, I'm pretty sure that it starts with our FMC like kind of going into this warrior in war, but she's a woman, of course, so therefore she's not allowed to be a warrior, okay? And clearly, so she has to hide that she's a woman. Just casual like misogyny, like, you know, she like camouflages herself, and I think this is how it starts. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure this is how it starts. And then they go into battle and a bunch of spicy stuff happens, and yeah, probably enemies to lovers, let's be for real. Heard great things, obviously. And there's like series on here that I really want to get to too. It's just those are kind of like my priority ones. Of course, you know, literally everything on my bookshelf. And then over here too, I have a ton of other series. So anyways, I think with all that being said, I think that's it. Hope you guys had a great time. Let me know your top series that you want to start, get to, continue, whichever you'd prefer, down below. I love to have a conversation, and if you're uncomfortable, always, 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 you could DM me on Instagram, whatever, literally whatever. I hope you have a fantastical day, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye!